if you know where to look for government data, it could stop you from maybe starting the worst businesses in the world. And actually, some of these are franchise businesses. See, there's people out there spend a lot of money trying to get young entrepreneurs to buy franchises. They're guaranteed success, and they have all kinds of ways to make you believe that this is the best thing to do in life. Particularly if you're looking for something to do by yourself. And quit your day job or whatever. And they spend so much money. I've gone to franchise conventions where it's like rock stars that they spend money on this kind of stuff. So you got to be careful. And see, what's neat about government data, you could find out who the good franchisers really are, because you can't believe a salesman, right? Somebody's selling you something, even me. You're just so biased, and their job is to get money from you, and they spend 24 hours a day trying to think about that. But see, because most franchise people get money from the government, they get loans from the government. So you could go to the Small Business Administration and find out who defaulted on their loans. And there was a big article in the New York Times recently about the big offenders of this, and like Planet Beach. I don't know if you know about that franchise. That's one of these tanning salons. Man, almost 40% of those people go out of business. They defaulted on their government loans. Huntington Learning Centers, and you'd think that, boy, this is a big booming. Everybody wants their kids to be Einstein, and to compete for a good college and all that kind of stuff. So they have a 30%. That means, almost a third of those businesses that start, go out of business, and they're supposed to be the guaranteed successful businesses because they've tried it. They worked out all the Quiznos. You've seen them around, right? They have a 30% failure rate too. Cold Stone Creamery, they have pretty good ice cream. I've used those guys. Look at most of the people, not most, but 30% of the people going out of business. Amoco Transmissions, those people. Minuteman Press, Sylvan Learning Centers. And this is all from government data that you could use. So you got to be careful. They're salesmen, and you could get the facts and make important decisions by knowing where that data are. See, data is plural. You can't say data is, it's data are. And here's another article from the Bloomberg Business. How $1.5 billion in franchise loan program. So much money is given. There's over 750,000 franchises out there. So it's a lot of ways people think, hey, this is a good way to make money. It's easy. I don't have to think. But man, you become a slave, in my mind, to the franchise people. But that's another story. Time for another topic. There's another database that you should be aware of by Mao Mao, and they have the same data, but it shows a little different information. Like Wings and Things has a 90% failure rate. I've seen those restaurants around, Just a Buck. I'm not even sure what they are. Executive Tans, they have failure rates at 80%. That's amazing. Actually, this is public data, and we're going to have a new website that's going to have Lesko public data, that you could look at things like this and not go through the drudgery of trying to get, this information from the government and put on your own database and everything. And we'll show you how to get that data if you want to do that. So that's another thing. And see, if you get caught up with any kind of franchise or anything, because if you're looking for a business opportunity, that's what usually you run into. And these people are very slick, in doing that. Now, every franchise has to follow the rules of the Federal Trade Commission. So if you have anybody that's selling you something on a franchise, or you bought one and they don't think you got a square deal, well, you complain to the Federal Trade Commission, and you go to their website, ftccomplaintassistant.gov, and you'll see there that they have a special thing under their complaint thing for franchises, right? So they get a lot of problems. So there's a lot of problems with these kind of businesses. And also, before you make a decision about a franchise, they have to disclose a lot of public information at the state level. Not at the federal level, but at the state level. And there's about 15 states that require this. So even if you're not in that state, you could go to one of these 15 states and ask for the disclosure information. See, this is not their advertising. See, advertising, they could fudge and lie and things like that. Who's going to stop them? But on a government document, they sign that and says they go to jail if they lie. So the information they put on those government documents are going to be more detailed, more fair than what you're going to get in some promotional brochure. And all those states are listed here on that screen you could see there. Or you could just search franchise disclosure, and you'll see what states have it in, or put one of those 15 states in there. Contact that office, and they'll send you that. If they charge a $10 copying fee, or probably for free to send out, so you get information. See, that's what's so neat about government information when you're doing it. People that lie, like Dun & Bradstreet. I used to lie to Dun & Bradstreet all the time, that collect financial information on businesses, because I know the only people that are going to get that information are my competitors. You're not going to call Dun & Bradstreet when you deal with me or whatever. So I used to lie. But when I fill out a government form, man, I don't lie, because on the bottom says, when I sign that, it says I go to jail or something bad's going to happen in my life. And that keeps me awake and honest too. So that's why this government data is so important, and it could help you make important decisions in life. Particularly starting a business or getting a loan for a business. Who failed at that before? You want to know that, and that's how you can find out.